Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesdays. Happy Tuesday to all of you out there. Happy to be with you. Good afternoon, Monique. Good afternoon, and welcome to Tea Time. Good afternoon, Everyday Change. All right, good afternoon. That's Dr. Patrick. Good afternoon, Renita. Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesdays. Good afternoon, Dr. Paul. Welcome to Tea Time. Yes, yes, this is a wonderful day and excited and thankful to be here with all of you this afternoon. This is just a great time where we pause, reset, and build resilience, and so excited to be here with all of you this afternoon on our Tea Time Tuesday. Hello to you over there, Carmela. How are you doing? How's the weather? How
I'm
is
doing
it over
good.
there?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting there. It's raining here. It's raining over here in Charlotte, but it's
Okay,
still nice.
it's still nice. It's
It's still
raining. At least
nice.
it's not cold rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes, good afternoon. Go ahead and make sure to share and like this broadcast. Hopefully, you have liked our YouTube channel. If you have not, we're inviting you to go ahead, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the channel with other people. What we're doing here at the Renewal Center for our Tea Time Tuesday. So go ahead and share that, like that. Make sure that you have your tea time journals, that you're ready with your tea time journals, that you have your drink of choice. And speaking of our observances of the month, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. At the Renewal Center, we're honoring that. And so we are being aware of our mental health. And this is the month that we're honoring it. So, again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we've even shared so much here on our tea time regarding mental health awareness this month, and looking forward to continuing to share. Yes, I am Renewal. Go ahead and type that into the chat, everybody. Monique has there. I am Renewal. Go
Yes.
ahead and type that in to the chat. And so our tea of the week is a lemon balm tea. And I love this tea. It's not my Earl Grey, but it's in my stashes of tea. And the wonderful thing about this tea is that it comes from, of course, a plant, a lemon balm. I think it's the Melissa plant that it comes from, which is a group of plants. I think that they're in South Central Europe, as I looked it up, or Central Asia, and some places in Africa as well. But it's grown all across the world, and the supplements are great. And so, even with lemon balm tea, and we know that this is mental health awareness. It helps to boost brain function, and it calms anxiety. These are some of the benefits. It's known to be help with some forms of depression and other things of healing sores and even improving sleep. It has a great, wonderful taste. If you have lemon balm tea, also let us know what's your drink of choice, what's your tea or water or coffee, or whatever you're having. So here, the tea of the week is lemon balm tea. Really, really good tea. I love lemon type tea, and it's a great way. It's a good home remedy, and a lot of research has been done on this as well. And it also helps with soothing of some tummy issues, and it's also
That sounds
uh,
good.
yeah, also included in within the mint family, like the mint family. So lemon balm tea is a great tea. So what are you guys having out there for your tea or your drink of choice today? Good afternoon, Nikia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Water. Dr. Paul Bond is having water. You can't go wrong with water.
You really can't.
You can't go wrong with water. So you're having water today. All right. All right, so what is your tea of choice? Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Tea Time Tuesday, where we pause, reset, and build resilience. We shared that our month observance is mental health awareness, and our tea of the week is lemon balm tea. All right, so we're going to go ahead into our time of pausing, which is our time to locate ourselves. This is a time where we pause. We kind of just, if you're able to, or you're sitting, be able to just close our eyes or just be able to look at what's viewing on our
Yes.
screen, something relaxing, something calming. This
Mm.
is our time of calm.
Yes.
This is our time to pause so that we can truly embrace calm. So we're going to go ahead and take a time to locate ourselves. Yes. All right. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't
Mm-hmm.
that great? All
Yeah.
right. I needed it too. So I needed it too. So we're going to go ahead and turn this over to Carmela, who's going to lead us in our tea time today.
Okay. Thank you, Hope. And that was such a good time for us to locate ourselves. Actually, I could hear the rain outside. That was so relaxing. And I needed that this morning. I want to invite everyone to grab your journals because we're going to really use our tea time journals today. And I'm so excited. You guys know I always get excited when it's time to present some renewal practices. But grab your tea time journal because we are really going to be engaging today. We're going to use that journal today in a creative way. Isn't that something? I'm already getting started now with the topic. But I want to go ahead and share our topic. I see someone coming in. Yes, the thunder. You're over there in Concord, Patrick. Yes, our executive director. He's over in Concord, not too far from where I am in Charlotte. And yes, we both hear the thunder. There's a lot of raining going on here. But I'd like to go ahead and get started to share something with us today. Grab your journals because we're really going to dive in. Today at tea time, we're going to kind of go back and discover some things that we did, review something that I had shared a while back. And, we're in the month of May, focusing and honoring mental health awareness. And at Tea Time Tuesday, you guys know that our whole premise here is to pause, to reset, and build resilience. And last week, Patrick, our executive director, brought us a topic, a renewal practice surrounding the power of silence. And when we talked about the power of silence, we really did some renewal practices surrounding how effective we can be when we take the time to bring silence and incorporate silence into our lives. There's a lot of great things that came about just because we sat still. And so what I'm talking about today, when I'm sharing creativity, when I'm talking about our big 10 of creativity, in order to gain silence or the benefits from silence, we have to incorporate pausing, right? We have to stop somewhere and pause. So as we stop and pause, I want you to just gaze at the picture in front of you. From pausing and getting still and taking a break, we can produce inspiration. There's some peace there. There's motivation, productivity, and then there is creativity. And so today here at Tea Time, we're going to talk about your big 10 of creativity and how we can make and discover something new, expand what we already know, because that's so important. We talk about that in Tea Time quite a bit, expanding ourselves, learning new things. But today there's a little twist to it. And I want us to go beyond that and look at the fact that we have to have a form of pausing there to engage creativity. Something I want to share with you. We're going to dive right into being interactive. So, Tea Time community, I want you to really be engaging today. I see something coming in, so I want to make sure that I put something there. Yes, Pamela, it was a powerful session last week. Learning how to be silent. I'm telling you, whatever we call silence, calm, hush, quietness, whatever it may be, taking the time to be still. That is such a relevant topic that we need, especially during this time when so much is going on. So we're going to dive into our engaging activity. We're going to do a creative exercise today, and I call it creativity exercise. I really want you to think about this. Is going to get you moving, and then we're going to talk about creativity and why we need to pause and have creativity in our lives. Okay, so here we go. Here is this picture in front of you. I want you to take a moment. I want you to pause. Really get still. Look at this picture. And what we're going to do here, Hope and I, we're going to give you time to look and be creative. I want you to take a moment and add what you consider to be missing in this picture. Okay? Really take a moment and look. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about why creativity is so important. Okay, so take a moment, look at the picture, just take it all in. And I want you to write in your journal, what is it that you think can be added to this picture, or what is missing to you in this picture? Okay, and while you're gauging this picture, I'm going to talk a little bit behind the scenes just to kind of get us going as to why we're talking about creativity. So look at the picture, write down what's missing. So creativity is ongoing. And as we move into creativity, and as we move into pausing, it overflows and show us what's needed. So if we take time to pause and we're pretending that we're kind of looking at a canvas, what would we put on there? So as you guys are taking the time to write this in your journal, as you're really becoming creative in your thoughts, our topic today is going to show how we can focus and how we can make a more of a discovery of learning some new things and expanding what we know. And so I'm going to give you just a few more seconds here to look at this, and we are going to dive into our discussion and our engaging time here at Tea Time Tuesday. So this creativity exercise is going to expand you. Okay, so I'm going to bring Hope and I back into the picture, and I'm going to hide the picture. So Hope, as you were looking at the picture, what did you find in the picture that you think is missing? And we're going to go somewhere with this. What's missing to you? What do you imagine there? What do you see in that picture? What did you write down in your journal?
I was thinking, I take notes on my phone, so I'll put it in my journal on my phone. But I was thinking a place to sit.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of colorful things, maybe some type of beautiful flowers or something in the peripheral, like in the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Some flowers, a place to sit. Because for me, I would like to sit there and just be able to just sit and take it in. Even though you probably stand on the rails, but like be able to sit, maybe want to journal, and then add the colorful components, which will heighten my sensitivity of what I'm seeing to, so that I can be able to reflect as well. Also, I was thinking of some type of nature or something, maybe birds or something, or
Okay.
Yeah. I love listening to birds. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Birds. I know that may be a little different.
Oh no, keep going.
And,
This is good.
yeah, and then just having me sitting on that bench. First, when I first seen it, I could see me walking up I put
Hmm.
myself in as me walking up the walkway. And then I thought if there was something to sit on, then I would sit on something, and sit there and just kind of look at the water, and have something to sit there as well. So those are a few things that I gauged and was able to
This
think
is
about.
good. This is good. I'm going to go to the Teton community in a minute because we're going to talk a little bit more. Why are we doing this exercise? What does creativity have to do with pausing and all of that? And so I would share what I saw in the picture. Um, and I was doing this exercise personally. I looked at there and I said, let's see, I saw the sunshine in the back. I imagined there was some, like the sun was shining behind the buildings. I even saw butterfly flying around, I like butterflies. I imagine that somebody was riding a bicycle, like
Mm-hmm.
up and down, like a picnic area, paddle boats going back and forth, and people walking, or fruit on a tree. That's what I saw when I looked at this picture. And so I'm going to, you guys heard what Hope and I shared about what we saw in this picture. So now I'm going to go to the Tea Time community and see what you guys put in your Tea Time journal about what you saw. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start with Monique. So Monique says she saw benches. Okay. She's
Yeah.
she saw paddle boats, flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you said, flowers, ducks, the sun, and people. Wonderful. Okay, great. And let's see. Patrick, he says he saw himself.
I'm not surprised by the answer. Yeah, just
He saw,
that's the basic.
right.
Like, I gotta be there first.
I guess
Yeah,
that's a beginning and an ending. Me.
right.
I
Me.
saw me in that picture.
Yeah.
That's good. That is so good. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. Okay, Dr. Brown. Hello, Dad. He said ducks in the water along with turtles, flowers, people, and birds. Okay, and Nikki Pan. Okay, all right. Nicole, she's saying a picnic basket and blanket, a book, and a cup of coffee. Ah, yes, we're going somewhere with this. Pamela, she's saying people strolling on the boardwalk, flowers, small, not wild animals, picnic baskets. Thank you, Pamela.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing it. And thank you, Nicole, as well. Deborah, she's saying, I walk daily. So the first thing that came to my mind was me. Okay, she's saying me was missing from the scene.
Mhm.
I enjoy quiet time during my walk and love the serene settings.
Mm.
This is amazing, the commonality and then the diversity, the things that we thought about that were similar and some of the things that were different. But what I want to focus on, the fact that I'll go back to the picture again so we can kind of gauge what we're talking about. The whole thing about is creativity. You get motivated, and then when you get creative, and then when you are creative, you get motivated. And everyone has their version of what creativity looks like.
Mhm.
And as we were gauging the picture, it what it did is it caused us to pause and to start germinating different ideas, and how we're motivated to become more creative when we stop and pause with a blank canvas, or even when we're adding to something. So see, when I drew you in and I asked you, I said, what did you see? What is it that you see that's missing? That is a way of generating creativity. And one of the things that I love about creativity is you never get enough of creativity in our lives. You can never outgrow creativity. And so, where are we going with this? I would like to share a quote from Maya Angelou here. It says, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. I'll say that once more. You can't use up creativity because the more you use, the more you have. Hope, I'm going to take this down. Is there something you like to share about that quote there?
I think this is a really, good quote because it's just saying creativity is always forthcoming. It's creativity is always moving. It's always coming forth. And for me, it's like just in a perpetual state of continuation. As we continue to create, then we continue to create other things. We still have a mind. We all have a mind of creativity that's different. But this particular quote is letting me know that creativity continues to move, it continues to evolve. The more I use it, the more I have it. So as I'm using it, I'm gaining even a greater sense of creativity as I even move forward. It just doesn't, you use it and then, there's no more. It's just more that's coming. And I can expect the more when it comes to creativity as
I
well.
like that. I like that. I like how you explain that, because what that draws me in is it's motivating. It's like when I said, creativity causes us to be motivated, and we're motivated to create. So it's like ongoing. So Maya Angelou, her quote was just so correct. You cannot use up creativity. Creativity is ongoing. We can always grow. We can always expand. I believe that creativity causes us to expand ourselves and better ourselves, right? And so we're going to talk about that. Well, how does that even create to Tea Time Tuesday? Because you're taking the time, like last week when we talked about being still, because we're pausing to recognize, what can I fill into the canvas around me? What can I create? How can I be creative? And like when we were sitting there looking at that picture, creativity, once you listen to everybody put their response, creativity really means different things to many people, right? So just taking the time to fill in that canvas, we started to generate ideas. We started to see beyond that picture. That picture turned into something else. It became a canvas, a working canvas for us to pause and reflect a little bit. And so what is creativity? So if I was to ask our Tea Time community, come on, y'all, chime in. What do you think creativity is? Just put it in the chat and we'll share it. It could be a word or a phrase or an idea, whatever it is. What is creativity to you? Hope, you want to dive in?
I'm trying to think of what I want to use to actually to describe uh, creativity. Um, hmm, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to that, and I want y'all to think about creativity. So when somebody comes up and they say, "Oh, you're so creative," the first thing that goes to your mind is what? What do you think? Tea Time community, what is creativity to you? Just think about it. And so while you're thinking about it and putting it in the chat, I'm going to share what I came up with, just different definitions to creativity to kind of expound
Mhm.
on this.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Hope. You ready?
I was thinking, yeah, because I was thinking, imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if I was thinking of, because there's many words to describe it, but I would say imagination, ideas that
Yes,
thinking that comes forth in imagination.
mm-hmm.
To me.
Imagination, ideas. Actually, that was built into some of the definitions. And that's good. And there's no right or wrong answers, Teton community. Just go ahead and throw it out there because we want to share. This is so vital. This is so essential to our growth. We always talking about growth
Mhm.
development and all of that, but this is this is a part, an essential piece of who we are, so that we can expand as we quiet ourselves, as we calm ourselves, as we engage in creativity. We start to become more motivated and generate more ideas. This is what I came up with. um, the ability to make or otherwise, oh, Hope went off. I guess you'll come back on in a second. The ability to make or otherwise bring into existence something new, whether a new solution or a problem, a new method or a device, or a new artistic object or a form. So, and then as I looked up in Webster, it said the ability to create. This is what creativity is: the quality of being creative, or it could be innovativeness, originality, or ingenious. So that's the regular definition of creativity. Now I see some people coming in. Let me see what's going on here. Wonderful. Okay, so let's start with Pamela. Pamela is saying creativity is the ability to generate a concept into something tangible. Ooh, this is good. Yes. So you're starting, you're ahead of me already. So you're starting. Welcome back, Hope.
I'm
Welcome.
sorry, my camera disconnected. It just
That's
disconnected.
okay. We're getting some feedback on what creativity is now.
Okay.
I just talked about the definition of creativity. And so Pamela is saying that that creativity is the ability to generate a concept into something tangible. So you start with a raw idea and you produce something that you can actually hold on to. Thank you, Pamela. You want to take Nick Pan?
Sure. Imagination in action. Mhm.
Exactly. What you just said, imagination. You want to take
Yeah.
that to Browns?
Sure. Discovering and developing something new.
Yes, you guys are really going. Y'all are already in the renewal practice today. And Deborah,
Bringing forth what flavor I've been seasoned with, my sounds and frequencies, and putting it in color and words.
I love this. Yes, and you know what I like? And even with this is creative. Y'all see creativity in motion already here? Just what you describing what creativity is. And Sharon is saying
Creativity, opportunity to enhance.
opportunity, enhancement, yes. And then Monique,
Innovation.
innovation. And I tell you, you guys could do the
Yeah.
renewal practice today because this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about even more today. Your Big 10 of creativity. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen for us to look at. When we talk about creativity could be a whole lot of different things. So I summarized them into a few things. And you guys have already said it. Generating ideas, embracing newness, ingenuity, developing solutions is one thing that I want to bring to the forefront, and innovation. I think Monique just said that word, innovation. Well, let's take a look and break down creativity when we're talking about generating ideas. Okay, so creativity, a lot of times when somebody says, "Oh, you're so creative," there, to them it could be the arts, or it could be you doing something, or making something, or cooking something, or designing something. But creativity is so much more. It's really focusing on the fact that we're bringing our imagination to the forefront of creating things. We see that blank slate, or we see a slate or a canvas, and we create something new, or we create something more. We're adding something more to it. One of the things that we talk about when we look at creativity is generating ideas. So generating ideas help us to problem solve even more. Uh, it builds on what's already out there. And how many of you guys know we live in we're all like this. We go to a store, or we look at an ad and it's always saying, "Oh, it's new and improved." They just upgraded, or this new thing. And it's really not. You look at what they're doing is they added something new to it. Really, they just added one thing or two that changed it or improved it. And if we look at creativity, we look at ourselves pausing to look at a canvas around us, and we start thinking, we get still and like, you know what, I'm becoming creative by taking the time to generate some ideas, to think of some things that maybe I didn't think about before. How can I improve this thing? Or how can I improve a process? Or how can I improve, or what new thing? I'm trying to remember who said they did it from scratch. Creating something from scratch, I think it was Pamela, and turn it into something tangible. That's a part of us taking the time to pause, to be still, and to become creative people that we really are. And I think we skip creativity a lot because we don't pause enough. So this is kind of piggybacking off what Patrick shared last week about power in there's that silence there. And as we take time to pause, there's a lot of generating ideas going on. And so as we generate ideas, become creative in that area, let's think about embracing newness. You know, when we think about embracing newness, ingenuity, developing solutions, and innovation, this produces critical thinking. This helps us in our own personal development and helps us to create things that are outside of the box. So I like to ask our audience, our Tea Time community, have you become creative to the point that you think outside of the box? That you think outside of the canvas? Maybe let's just create a brand new setting. Okay, let's just create a brand new this or something that doesn't even exist. And if you look around you, just anything, you can pick up an object, somebody's creativity brought that to light had they not took the time to pause or to have that motivation to do it. And you're thinking, well, what does this motivational stuff have to do with Tea Time Tuesday? Because we're focusing in on Mental Health Awareness Month. We're focusing on well-being and things that will upcharge us, things that will ignite us, things that will help us go the distance in our personal development and have a growth mindset. In order to have a growth mindset, we have to expand ourselves. Start thinking outside of the box. What's new? What can I create? What can idea? What level of innovation? What thing can I do? What can I improve? Okay, I see some things coming in the chat. Hope you have something you want to share.
Oh no, I was just thinking about what you were saying and what you were sharing about just creativity. You know, we see it every day. We
Mm-hmm.
see it in everything that we do, from the computers we work on to the phones, the gadget technology, landscapes, different little
I love it.
things
Yes.
on our desk, or different little knickknacks. Someone had the creativity to do these things,
Mm-hmm.
and we enjoy other people's creativity. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I was getting from what you were
Yes.
saying as well. We enjoy the creativity of many others, not just our own, but being able to look at someone else's creativity. It could be a book cover, or a book, or a picture of art, where someone is creative. So it's many different things in many different ways, and creativity is just really
Mm.
expansive. It's really expansive because we enjoy it every single day. And so I was just thinking about that when you were sharing. Hmm.
And I'm glad you shared that because that's kind of like where I was going. And when you start sharing your ideas, you're learning to appreciate others. It's like a revolving door, not just as my Angela was saying, you expand it, you continue with yourself, but this is just something that encompasses everyone around us. And it makes for a better environment, working environment, um, organizational environment, even in your personal space. So this is a great way to expand who we are, to think outside of the box, helps us to stretch ourselves, helps us to grow. When we develop things, we enhance ourselves and we enhance our teams, we enhance those around us. Um, just think about how this relates to you in your professional life, in your personal growth. When you do something beyond your scope, how many of you guys out there have tried something or came up with something and you're like, okay, that's way beyond my scope. But then once you developed it or thought of this new idea or this new concept, it just shifted everything. It gave you the confidence that you thought you never had. And so I'm excited about this. I see some responses coming in. Nita is saying your uniqueness and ideas in action. Yes, that's what creativity is. I like those words, uniqueness and your ideas moving in action. And then Patrick is coming back. He says, a disposition of ability, originality, and the uniqueness to unearth potential. You see, as something that Hope just was saying, which is so true, creativity it's such a revolving door to the point that it enhances everyone around us. And it brings out, like Patrick is saying, the potential. There it is. There's that confidence that thrusts us into a new place of understanding who we are. And not only that, but it brings motivation and it brings our well-being into the forefront. because we're contributing. I love this. Thank you for sharing that. Pamela, you want to take Pamela?
She says it's more like recycled.
Yes, yes, yes. You're going. It's something. You're bringing something new to the forefront.
Hmm.
You're adding something to the canvas that is there, but it may be something new. Again, this is good. And embrace the pause. Yeah, it's time to embrace that place of calming down, pausing. We don't just locate ourselves just to do it. We locate ourselves to bring us to a place of calm and focus. And how many of y'all during Tea Time Tuesday have come up with ideas just through sitting through locate yourself? You started thinking of some things like, oh, wow. A lot of things came out of just taking the time to locate yourself. So I want to talk, just mention something really quick. Um, you birth things, an idea out of problem solving and bringing problems and solutions to problems. Let me show y'all something. Y'all remember when we were in grade school and they used to do show and tell? And we would bring an object to school or something, then we would tell them about it. And you can get two students to share show and tell, and they would share something totally different about it because there were so many things that they saw in that object. Show and tell to us, even now, is to take what we have and to express it idea wise, ingenuity, innovation. I know Hope creates earrings. So I can only imagine we're both creative people.
Hmm.
You make those earrings and you probably come up, oh, I can add that to this. And it just never ends. It's like a go ahead, Hope. I hear you, I see you nodding your
Well,
head.
no, because I get excited about my earrings. Creating them. You know, it started off with creating them for myself because I like tassels. I love
Mm-hmm.
tassels. They're on my blinds and windows, my doors. So I said I would like to make a tassel earring. Even I didn't even see other people's that were making them. I just thought about them. And I said, and then people said, "Hey, do you make those? Can you make?" And I said, "You know what? Yeah." So then I began to share my creativity with other people.
Mm-hmm.
It started off for me, but I began to share it with creativity, with other people, and then it began to put together those colors. And I really enjoy creating not just that, but a whole lot of other things I like to do and create as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. And just to expound on that, it's like a blank canvas. You never had it before. You never created that before, but because you took the time and all of a sudden, like I said, that motivation comes, then creativity comes, and then you're motivated again, and you begin to create, you begin to put your ideas in motion, and now that same idea is blessing someone else or it's enhancing someone else. And it's not only enhancing someone else, but it's bringing even more enhancement in yourself to create more. And so this is a really good essential practice to remember that creativity comes in so many forms as we stretch ourselves. It's important to pause and welcome time to reflect and to generate different things that bring forth the creativity within us. And I want to share this with us. I think this would help as a renewal practice to start thinking, well, what would be our Big 10? Now, I'm going to give you 5 different things where you can make or discover something new and expand your insight. With creativity, look at literature. Look at what you're reading. You can explore various experiences and ideas through the form of written expression. We got a lot of authors that tune in. We have authors here, and not just the fact that we're writing, but because we're picking up books, journals, we're reading newspapers, we're reading articles, we're reading some type of written expression that produces more understanding. So creativity, you can find that by expanding your knowledge. When you take time to pause during your lunch break, maybe, we talked about technology free zone. So if we talk about a technology free zone, why can't we can pick up a book, we can pick up something that is engaging to expand our knowledge. So number one, literature. Number two, leisure, because you're stopping to intentionally plan to do something enjoyable. I'm going to come back to the screen here. Leisure, when you're intentionally planning, and we talk about that a lot here at Tea Time Tuesday, but sometimes we don't intentionally plan. Planning to expand, planning to be creative through the things that we love to do. And that means disconnecting from overload. Mental Health Awareness Month. So this is all tying in together. There's a lot that goes on when we pause to reflect. And when we do it through leisure, we're disconnecting, we're stepping away from the normal overload and duties that we always engage in. And we start to become creative just by our leisure time. How about number three? Concepts. And so here again, concepts provide unique perspectives, and it helps us to have innovative approaches. So learning some new concepts and taking on new concepts and new ideas from others, or generating new concepts, maybe generating a model for your team, something that they've never used before. And when you use it, it like helps with time. It produces efficiency, all because you generated an idea. Hope you have something you want to share.
I was thinking about, what you were saying, like creativity for, uh, team, job, you know, it's just, again, creativity is expansive.
Mm-hmm.
It's used in, every part of our lives. And I think sometimes we don't realize that it's creativity, because I've heard people say, well, I'm not really creative. I don't know. We're all creative in many ways, in many different aspects, and many different perceptions of creativity that's expressed throughout each and every person. And so to me, that is very important. If we're creative on our job, creative even in our friendships, our relationships,
That's good.
anything that we can put together in ideas and thoughts that become and emerge into a creative gesture, or creative
Mhm.
adding to work, or
Yeah,
adding to our business. Is so much, Carmela. And that's why I say creativity is expansive in so many ways. And there is not a day that we don't use it.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Every day in some type of way we're using it. So yeah. I just was thinking that and wanted to share that.
Thank you. Thank you. And, as she was saying that, I just felt myself leaning. When you lean into creativity, that means you leaning into pausing. You're really leaning into, this is what I would love to do. This is what I would like to, enjoy. This is what I would like to share. And when you lean into creativity, you open the door, like, we were talking about, for more knowledge, for more expansion. Let's go back to that slide. Concepts, learning new things, craftsmanship. Uh, when I think of craftsmanship, I think of building from the ground up. Okay. That means maybe working with your hands or making something, or it doesn't necessarily have to be something physical, but your craftsmanship is how you're crafting, how you're designing something, and you're building it from scratch. And so when you go back and think about the canvas from the beginning, when we were looking at that picture and all the little things we put in there, uh, sometimes we may want to design something from that and create something new, or create something expansive from that, from the ground up, building upon what's there too. Craftsmanship is building. So when you are in creative mode, and we are creative people, we're building. So that means we don't want to shun, well, no, that doesn't, that may not make a difference. Well, we never know if would make a difference. We don't start to build. So being creative is also building. So that's workmanship. And then the last one is cultivation.
Mm.
Now, those of you that got green thumbs, y'all know about this. So I'm not the greatest green thumb person, but cultivation, not just in terms of working with plants and stuff, but we think about it when we think about plants, gardening. It means growing. So you may not be in the craftsmanship mode of building, but you might be in the cultivation mode of creativity, of growing and maybe planting things or improving things. So creativity is so vast, but it's still essential to our well-being. So I see some remarks coming in, and then we're going to do a quick, just a quick brainstorm real quick, and then we're going to close out for our Tea Time Tuesday. And I see that Monique is saying creativity is multifaceted. Yeah, because as we said, Monique, we go back and we look at creativity and what it could be: literature, leisure, concepts, craftsmanship, cultivation. And we're going to talk about a little bit more in a second. And then Deborah, she's saying created to create. And so, we don't do a whole lot of deep preaching or anything on Tea Time Tuesday, but there is a scripture that says, he who has begun a good work in us shall perform it. Even God has created us to create. He's created us to be creative people. So whatever we have in our hands, the work of our hands and the ideas that he's given us has, been there for us to create. And I think that is such an amazing thing, that we don't negate creativity in our everyday lives, because it's so important. So I want to share something before we close out really quick. I want you to think about creativity as your canvas this week and in your Tea Time journal. If you have time, and I'll put this on Facebook. We'll put this on Facebook, this slide. But I want you to think about this as you go forth for the rest of the week. During your journaling, I want you to do a creativity journal exercise. What areas of creativity will you begin exploring? So I gave you 5. I gave you 5 different areas. You can go back and look at them: leisure, literature, all of those different things. Why don't you add 5 more and make it a big 10? What are some areas you want to begin cultivating and exploring? I'm going to throw out a few things. How can you enhance your well-being through creativity and becoming more well-rounded? So it could be through problem solving. It could be, how will you answer this question? Is it a design answer? Is it traveling? How about how you work in your organizations or teams? Is it something related to visual arts, lecturing, drawing, designing, painting, your sales, services, or products? Communication? What areas of creativity will you begin exploring, and begin to write that down? But the only way that you can get to that place is to pause. And remember Maya Angelou, I'm going to go back to her quote: you can't use up creativity. The more you use it, the more you have. So as you sit and reflect and create, okay, you may have created something last week, well, create again. You're always in creativity mode. And so as we move forward, Tea Timers, take time this week, maybe today, if you have a moment, and think, how can I stop and pause and be creative and generate ideas and all those things we talked about? Going back to the canvas, how could I use what I have around me and add to the canvas, or start something new? Okay, I see one remark that just came in. You want to take Darlene's?
Sure. God's perpetual creativity in us, whether we believe in God or not. Whether we believe it's God or not, excuse me. Everyday change says I need to recreate my current elevator pitch regarding what I do in my personal brand.
Thank you, Patrick. And I'm going to make this real quick, but I like what he just said, because this is a practical thing, and you get creative even with it. Okay, I might need to sharpen up my elevator pitch, because that's really a creative expression of who I am and what I do, my products, my services. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. I don't think it is accurate and clear enough. Time to rewrite. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. So then Patrick is saying, I'm going back to the drawing board. I'm going back to that place of a canvas. What can I add? What can I be? What ingenuity, what innovation, what thing can I develop? and how can I stretch myself? Maybe I need to be outside of the box a little bit, but it's all about stopping, pausing, and becoming creative. And so, thank you, all Tea Time Tuesday community. I'm going to let Hope go into our time of our announcements and how you can support the Renewal Center. But I see a remark coming in, and while she's doing that, y'all put your takeaways in the chat. We're excited about this today. Patrick is saying, yes, it's clear to me, but it may not be clear to others. Now, that's a great observation. And that would be time to be a little silent, like you would say. Sit, reflect, and generate a new idea, something new that can enhance others. Okay. Hope I'm turning it over to you.
All right. So we're just going to go into a few announcements that we have for the Renewal Center. We want to invite you to be able to give to the Renewal Center, our digital ways of giving. You can go to our website. You can text to give as well. We also have PayPal. We have CashApp, Zelle, Venmo, and if you would like to mail a money order or check, you may do so with the P.O. Box information that's listed here. We invite you to give. We invite you to join us and come in agreement with us with giving to the Renewal Center as we continue to move forward in great expansion. We invite you to sow into this great vision by using one of the methods here that is on our flyer here for you to be able to give. All right. And we thank you in advance for your giving. All right. Wednesday night is our Reforming Culture Kingdom of God series, which is Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. This has been a phenomenal time from last year until our last Reforming Culture, which is going to be held on May 28th. It's going to be our last Reforming Culture as we take a break for the summer. So you still have time to just come on and join us as we're talking about the Kingdom of God series. It has been absolutely phenomenal. Again, join us tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. All right, we have Renewal Center morning prayer. All right, this is Fridays at 6:30 a.m. And I tell you, this has been such a time of refreshing, such a time of renewing. I tell you, we have been refreshed. Please join us. The Zoom information to join us is located here on the bottom of the screen and is the same link that we use for Reforming Culture. Join us Friday, mornings at 6:30 a.m. All right, and we invite you to join us for our New You Digital Discipleship with our Renewal Center team. This is on Sundays at 10 a.m. Please come and worship as we dig and indulge into the Word of God on Sundays at 10 a.m. via Zoom. And information for that is located in our social media so that you can register and join us. If you don't have a place to fellowship, consider fellowshipping with us at the New Year Digital Discipleship, 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings via Zoom. All right, ladies, and this is our time. Saturday, June 7th, 2025. It's our Renewal Center's Women at the Well Bible Study Series. This is phenomenal. It has been great. We're good over a year with our Bible study, and it's Zoom. It's going to be on Zoom. And it's at 10 a.m. for our virtual fellowship. And then our Bible study begins at 10:30 a.m., which is led by Pastor Carmela. This is a great time of finding purpose. It's in grace and liberty and God's presence. So this is a safe place for us to go and just study the Word of God while embracing who we are as women. And so we ask you to join us June 7th, 2025. Again, it's the same link that we use for Reforming Culture. You can go ahead and sign up there if you haven't been able to join us. We invite you to join us and invite someone else as well. And our roads lead to grief recovery. We have individual grief sessions by certified grief recovery specialists. And later on, be looking forward to our GPS, which is our group sessions. If you know anyone who needs any help or anything regarding grief or loss of any type, please contact the Renewal Center. We'll be glad to answer any questions for you so that you could be a part of these sessions.
Thank you,
All
Hope.
right. Thank you.
And it's 1 o'clock, so we're trying not to keep you too long, but we thank you for your takeaways, and I'll flash them across the screen. Just want to say thank you to everyone that joined us in Tea Time Tuesday. We hope that you got some great takeaway from it today, and we will come back again on next Tuesday. And Hope will bring us our renewal practices next week. So just a reminder to just make sure that you continue to thrive in this month as far as mental health awareness. There are some great tips, some great strategies that the Renewal Center is trying to bring for our renewal practices. And we hope that you all have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. And we're going to sign off for now. And have a wonderful Tuesday, everyone. And we'll see you on our next Tea Time Tuesday. Have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.